Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Teennovators. I'm Cyrus and it's a nationwide hunt for the most exciting, innovative and creative minds of the country. We're done with 3 semi-finals. We're all set to pick the last finalist on Teennovator. Now before I introduce you to our contestants, let me give you a quick overview of what it took to get them here.
We tested over 170,000 children in 717 schools, spread over 19 cities in India. The idea? To narrow it down to the top 16 innovators across the country. The children first went through a written exam. The top 4 from each school made it to a zonal final. Here, they went through many rounds to test their communication skills and their zeal to innovate. And from these children, we have picked our top 16.
And now our first contestant of today is Arvind Iyer from Hari Shri Vidyalayam, Chennai.
Arvind loves ball games. He designs computer programs and search engines. Quizzes are child's play for him. And while he's at it, he designs robots too.
Our next contestant is from Kolkata, Preeti Sharma, who is in class 10 at St. Joseph and Mary School.
Preeti is a dreamer and reads voraciously. She likes gaming and is passionate about doing something about global warming.
Our next contestant is Ahmed Sarosh, a student of class 11, Mount Carmel School, New Delhi.
Ahmed loves experimenting with food. He keeps coming up with crazy science concoctions. And he does all of this while on the run. Give him a camera and he'll see the world through a new angle.
Our final contestant of the day is Raga, a young lady with an attitude. She studies in class 10 in Little Flower School, Hyderabad.
Raga loves poetry. An outdoor girl, she aspires to be a stunt woman. She can blueprint spaceships when genius strikes. Her imagination colors her world.
Guys, we have 3 tasks in this semi-final round.
More about the 3 challenges. The first requires them to make something. Then a puzzle that requires them to think on their feet. And lastly, a real-life problem set by the head of a large corporation. The winner heads to the final with a chance of winning the title of Teennovator and gets to go on an exclusive NGC expedition.
Alright guys, you ready for round number 1?
Yeah.
Super! Because you guys will go green doing this one. But the raw material for this task is as anti-green as it can get. It's plastic. We're going to be giving you the stuff and you guys have to use it to come up with the most innovative, practical and aesthetic thing you can. So now you guys are going to head off to our innovation lab where you guys will be given materials. Ready for it?
Yeah.
Off you go.
I was confused because I didn't really expect I could use plastic bags in many different ways.
I'm making a bag with the help of plastic and straws.
At first I was really excited. Then I realized that to actually make something is not as easy as designing it and getting the idea.
I'm trying to make a full toy which just uses plastic.
I thought that it's not going to work, and that was really frustrating, and I thought that I'm not going to do anything else.
I had thought of something like a waterproof box. Then I saw that no, somebody else was making the same. Then I spent another 20 minutes thinking what else could I make.
My first thing didn't work. Then I went up to something right in my lane and I came up with something really fun.
I have to create something which is very innovative. That's why I thought to make a helmet.
My boat is nearly complete. Just to make up the base and put on the balloons that will propel it.
I didn't expect myself to actually create something that I think looks decent.
Our contestants have come up with amazing creations considering the time and limited resources that they have. We're going to start with you, Ahmed. What's happening there?
I made a balloon propelled boat over here, and it's lightweight.
It's made out of beautiful straw, okay? And you've got these two balloons which you fill up with air and then they propel the boat forward.
It's repairable also.
Excellent, repairable, highly usable boat. And what's there?
This is a small prototype.
Okay.
If it's still smaller, it could turn into a canopy
Okay.
for drinks. And if made with the right materials at a right size, you can use it as an umbrella.
True. It opens also.
Yeah.
Even better.
Little
Okay.
mechanism.
Little mechanism. Brilliant invention. I loved it, Ahmed. Now over to the giant Arvind.
Yeah, so I've made a doll, almost completely made of plastic bags. I've added balloons as a hands, but it just adds a little bit of fun to the whole experience.
Yeah. He's awesome looking.
It's lightweight, so it's a cool bath toy for little kids. The sponge can be used as a scrubber while having a bath.
Excellent idea. Let's call him Scrubby.
Sure.
Excellent. Now what is this?
Well, this is a multi-purpose broom. I've completely made the head using plastic, so it can be used to clean almost any material, dust, water, since it's water resistant, and I've used this as a handle. You look a bit dusty.
Yeah, come on, go for it, man. Here, a little bit here. It's actually ticklish. It's making me laugh. It's like a laughing broom.
Yeah, true.
Well done, Arvind. Ahmed and Arvind have shown us their wonderful plastic inventions, but we're going to take a short little break, and when we come back, we've got the ladies. Welcome back to Teenovators. I'm Cyrus, and we are halfway through our last semi-final episode of Teenovators, so everything is getting very exciting. So now let's see what the ladies have got for us. We're going to start with you, Preeti. Ready?
Yeah, I have made a helmet with the help of wires and plastics. So you can wear it for your protection,
Yes.
head protection. Wanna try?
Yes, yes. Oh, very nice, very nice. It's a little small for my head, but perfect for yours, Preeti. There
Yeah.
you go. Okay, what's this?
This is actually a box. It is of high utility, and you can use any of the foodstuffs or any other material, so that toiletries and wallets, so that it don't get wet.
Yeah.
You can use it as a lunch box. See, I've used this.
You used your
shells.
lunch on the box. Well done. Now over to Raga. Raga, what's happening here? What is this? A giant ring.
It's a Hawaiian grass skirt.
Wow, very nice.
And you even have a button so that you can belt it around your waist. And the best part is that it's short, it's cute, it's comfortable, and it dries really fast because it's made of plastic. So it's like the perfect thing to wear for a beach party or something.
It's a high utility thing because if you want, you can wear it as a grass skirt, or you could look like a young little Turkish dancer. You know, depends on where you want to wear it.
Exactly.
I'm impressed. Okay, what's that?
This is a handbag. Normally plastic handbags tear really easily, but it's really sturdy. You can actually carry it to a party or outside because it's pretty too.
What's amazing is what you've done with the clip handles. That's really innovative. Yeah. I love it.
Thanks.
Okay, Raga, thank you so much. Great job, guys. Give yourselves a round of applause. That brings us to the end of round number 1. And now it is time to reveal the scores. We have a panel of judges who have allocated scores based on how original, effective, and of course, innovative our wonderful makes have been. Preeti is on 22 points. Preeti, your ideas were not very innovative or effective according to our judges. All right, Raga has come out third with 26 points. Our judges thought your skirt was innovative, but you lost points for your bag, which they thought was a weak idea. Ahmed is at 28 points. A nice idea and pretty original. Well done, Ahmed.
Thanks.
Impressive. And now the winner of this round is Arvind, who gets 31 points for his innovation and the fine detailing of his final product. Well done, guys. It's the end of round number 1, but 2 more rounds to go and anything can happen. All right, guys, put on your thinking caps. This one is an important round, okay? It's the on-the-spot challenge. It will test your problem-solving skills, and only 2 winners in this round will get 10 points and 5 points, respectively. You see these piles of bricks in front of you? What you guys have to do is create the largest surface area that you can by putting these bricks one on top of the other. So remember, the wall with the greatest surface area wins. You guys have only 3 minutes to complete this task. Your time starts now. "40 seconds are already up.
I'm done.
You sure?
Yeah, sure.
All right, guys, last 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1, timeout. Okay. So after multiple measurements, we are back with the scores. Ahmed has clearly cracked this one, and the wall, you get 10 points. You won this round, buddy. Congratulations. Give him a round of applause. Very smartly done, and you were the first to finish. And Arvind is second and did something really smart. What you did was you created parallel bases, which is another very intelligent idea. So that brings Ahmed to 38 points. You're in the lead. Congratulations. Well done. And Arvind is at 36 points. Now Raga and Preeti are still at 26 and 22, but the last task is for 50 points. That's the most important one because it's the largest scoring and a complete game changer. And now for our final round, we have a very special guest who will be joining us today. A little bit now about our guest. Sanjeev Bikhchandani is the vice chairman and founder of the famous Naukri.com.
This is Sanjeev Bikhchandani.
Innovation is about solving an unsolved problem.
He founded Naukri.com in his father's garage. It went on to become India's #1 job portal. Besides Naukri, Sanjeev runs numerous other portals.
Sanjeev Bikhchandani is interested in employment and his task centers on marginalized sector of workers who are the rag pickers. You guys will travel to Ghazipur landfill. Before that, you will meet up with Mr. Bikhchandani who will brief you about the problem. Okay? Head up.
Our task was to come up with an idea that would help the condition of the waste pickers in Delhi.
The solution for the task had to be feasible, financially viable, sustainable, and practical.
After meeting Mr. Bikhchandani, we left for the landfill.
At the landfill, we interacted with two girls.
They wanted to study and they are not getting any education, and they have to work hard from early in the morning up till night.
At the landfill, we met this woman who was grinding glass and stuff.
Talking to her at length, I just came to know that she earns a mere 60 rupees per day. You could see that they are living under utter poverty.
I think it is a difficult problem because they live in an extreme living conditions. So that was like quite an eye-opener.
After the landfill, we met an expert who we gave our ideas to.
At Manipal University, we stand to shape the minds of tomorrow through innovative ideas and cutting-edge technology, especially in our various initiatives for the environment like rainwater harvesting, solid waste management, proactive energy conservation, and wastewater recycling. Our state-of-the-art infrastructure and green innovations are evident in our abundant natural canvases at the Manipal campus, one of the 3 rare universities to rank 2nd in India and 78th on the UI Green Metric ranking of world universities. An initiative towards conservation and preservation of life's creative forces, growth and regeneration inspired Green Manipal, a sustainable eco-campus. To nurture nature and life through our commitment to cherish and protect Mother Earth is what spells the essence of Manipal University, inspired by life.
Hi and welcome back to Teennovators. We are in our last semi-final and our 4 contestants are just back from studying issues surrounding rag pickers in our city. It's a very complex problem, and now to judge you all and hear your wonderful ideas, we have Sanjeev Bikhchandani. Thank you so much for being with us, Sanjeev.
Thank you for calling me.
Thanks a lot. So now we're going to start with you, Raga. Best of luck.
What if the waste pickers themselves interacted with the top people so that they could get the full benefit of their work? That way they could get recognized. So my first idea was the rack pickers should come together and form a cooperative. The benefits, they gain bargaining power, and banks will be willing to give them loans because they're a cooperative. They can give collateral, and they will be able to pool money and buy protective equipment like boots, gloves, goggles. And also they'll have security. Like for example, the rack pickers get sick for 15 days and they work for 15 days. So while this person is sick, this person can cover for him, and while this person is sick, this person can return the favor. First, how do they get a cooperative? My idea was that companies should just fund for the basic stuff like infrastructure.
What kind of companies?
Commercial companies.
What do the company benefit?
The company benefits by one thing, they get publicity. My next idea was that we should make their jobs legal. So they should get IDs stating their job, and they should get an identity.
Who gives them IDs?
Government, of course. But if we do all this, a minor thing arises. Like in the future, if we implement these ideas in a few generations, all the waste pickers are either going to migrate to other better paying and secure jobs, or they're going to be doing this in a very hi-fi way with offices and stuff. So who is going to separate the waste which is outside? My answer is we should start doing it at our home itself.
Thank you. Well done.
Thanks.
There you go, Raga. We have another great mind here. So Arvind, are you ready with your presentation?
Yeah. I've realized all the problems that are being faced by the waste pickers, and I'm coming up with a conclusive solution. Currently, there's end segregation of waste, so I want to change that to source segregation. We could take the community of waste pickers and have it split into two. That's the children and the adults. So for the children, I think that a school education should be provided.
But you know, the reason why their parents put them into waste picking is because they earn money and the family needs the money.
As an extra activity, there can be a recycling workshop where the kids can create something. It could be art
from waste.
Yeah, it is.
Which is doing really well around the world.
Now let's move on to the working adults. Each waste picker would be allotted a specific locality in Delhi and would have to be provided with uniforms, ID cards, and a workspace where they can segregate the waste. So I think the ID cards would increase their dignity, and also they would be having recognition as workers of this occupation. So the community will have three main sources of income. The main one would be every door in the locality where the worker works would contribute about ₹10 per month. And another would be the biodegradable waste that they can segregate out of the garbage is converted to compost, and they could sell the fertile compost that they get. The third would be the extra waste that is converted to art.
Just one question. So there will be waste that is not convertible into art, that is not recyclable and is not biodegradable. What happens to that waste?
The non-recyclable waste is the only waste that gets sent to the landfill.
Okay, great.
A lot of innovative ideas.
Very
there.
nice.
Well
Very
done. We've got another very bright person over here. Mr. Ahmed, are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay.
If we give a proper housing place for these waste pickers, maybe their lifestyle and their livelihoods will change, and they can live a better life. When I went there, I talked to the expert there. She said that there is lots of methane over there. I just thought any company would be ready to invest over there and install something that could trap the methane.
So have you researched on the internet or anywhere else where something like this has been done anywhere in the world?
Yeah, it's been done in the foreign countries like in England, USA.
What will the methane be used for?
So it will be used for cooking and these all. I want to tell my second idea with the help of a model.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is very colorful.
My thinking is that the trash should be away from their homes.
Okay. What are these buildings?
These buildings are their homes.
Where do they get these homes from?
The government will help them get it.
So the government will build housing for the waste pickers.
Yeah, actually the money that government has, it's not going effectively in every direction. And it's...
But don't you think that there may be 10,000 families, and how will the government provide 10,000
They can pick it up in different locations.
But that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but the government has it.
Okay.
And homes far away from that landfill.
Okay.
So that they can breathe clean air.
Okay.
And they can commute using the bicycles, going to the landfill, picking up trash on the way.
If I had such a lovely home and such a lovely building, I'd just rent it out and not work as a waste picker anymore.
Rental is not allowed.
Okay, fine.
Non-rentable. It's given by the government. And about this garden, the stuff they just carry, They separate non-biodegradable and biodegradable. They can put a compost out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they make compost, and then what happens?
They can plant trees, and that will be very fertile soil.
So,
They
so
can,
how does the life improve?
they'll get another source.
So they will
source
sell
of
compost.
money.
They
Yeah.
sell compost.
No, compost also and other things also. Maybe plants.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. They might start a nursery, or they might start
Other
a
creative things
vegetable
also.
garden.
Okay, Preeti, are you ready?
Yeah.
This is another brave thinker.
Very nice.
Here we go.
I could organize an event or programs so that I could educate the best speakers. I thought to provide them skills and knowledge so that they can make any usable product from the waste. They can make plastic plates, bags, and
You were going very well.
I've also made a model. This is
what
made
is
up of. This is actually a decor I have made. We can use it as a pen stander.
Oh,
Then
nice. This is very nice. Cyrus, have you seen this?
Wow.
This is really cool.
What?
Yeah. Okay. So broadly, you're saying they can get better prices by making more value-added products from waste rather than
Yeah.
just selling waste for recycling.
So that they can increase their daily wages.
Excellent.
And my second point is giving education to the girl child.
Okay, I have a question. What about the boy child?
The parents send their male child to the government school, but not the girl child.
Okay, so
that
the boy child is already getting educated.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not the girl child.
Okay.
My third idea is to give a good drainage system to the rack pickers so that they don't get ill or they don't get any kind of hazardous diseases.
But who will pay for this?
Government and NGOs.
Well done.
Thank you so much, Preeti.
Thank you.
There you have it. So many presentations,
Very nice.
so many ideas.
I think there are some very creative solutions here.
So Sanjeev, before you score them, they had limited resources, very little time. So please remember that. Sanjeev's going to take just a minute and then come back with the scores. So the moment we've been waiting for has arrived. Sanjeev has come up with the scores. Sanjeev, thanks first of all for being here.
Yeah, thank you so
and
much.
What did you think of our presentation?
I thought there were some really good ideas here, and I think some of them can become very useful solutions in the real world. But if you come to the scores, so Preeti gets 28 points, and I thought this whole direction of instead of merely recycling waste as a commodity, trying to create more value-added, useful, functional products out of it, which can therefore get a much, much higher price. And whatever you can't create value-added products from, that you sell as a commodity.
Correct.
Ahmed, you get 36 points. I like the idea of the methane plant. Yeah, that is quite innovative and nice, and I'm glad that you had researched and found that it was being used in other countries, so it's practical and feasible also. Raga get 40 points. I thought the idea of the cooperative was really cool. I thought that can work. Yeah, and Arvind is a winner of this round at 45 points. Idea of source segregation instead of end segregation was a good direction to move in. I think that was really creative and well thought through. I thought overall Arvind's linkages across his three ideas,
well thought out.
The entire solution was very, very good.
All right, we have a clear winner here. Arvind Iyer with a total of 81 races into the finals on Teenovators. Ahmed is second at 74 points. Raga is at 66. Not bad. And of course, Preeti at 50. And thank you so much for being here and giving us your time. And now we request you to kindly give them all a certificate and a gift. So our semi-finals are over. We finally have our top 4 finalists for next week's episode, which are the finals of Teenovator, and only one person will win that crown. So thanks for watching this episode. Do not forget to watch next week.